Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. In today's video, I'm going to show you two ways to make cards with your Cricut Joy. One, we're going to use the Cricut Joy blank cards. These are about $6.99 for 12 cards. I got these off of Amazon and I will link them below. This is the gray with the silver holographic version. You will need the Cricut Joy mat. This is the card mat, also from Amazon where I found it cheapest. This was about $5.99. I'll link this below as well. Then you're going to need some regular cardstock for the second way we're going to do this. And you can use any kind you want. This is the new copper from Michaels. You're going to need the blank set of cards from Michaels. This is by Craft Smart, and this is a set of 80 cards. So you get 80 cards, 80 envelopes. Cool, awesome set, lots of great colors, and this comes in tons of different patterns and colors. This is normally priced at $19.99 for this entire set, but you can usually find it on sale for 60 to 70% off. And then you're going to need a Cricut Joy mat. I have the extra long blue one, but any Cricut Joy mat should work just fine for you. And then obviously you're going to need your Cricut Joy. And then we're going to make these two really adorable cards today. We've got a little Easter card. This one was done with the Michael set. And then we've got a congratulations card that was done with the Cricut set. So let's go over to Design Space so I can show you how to do these with your Cricut. We will need to choose a card in our Design Space for this. I want to make sure that I have the correct machine selected. So up in this upper corner, make sure you select the Cricut Joy for this. I'm going to go over to Projects, and typically you can pick like categories. So I'm going to look in the cards and see what we can find. A lot of times you can just kind of scroll and find them, but I want to find, I'm looking for something that's more of like an engagement card. So let's look at all projects and we'll just try searching engagement and see what we can find. And maybe there's going to be something perfect for it, but I just don't see anything that I like. So we'll just scroll down and see if we can find one of these really cute cards that they have that's pre-made that will work really nice for an engagement gift. So there's this cute congrats, which I think is really cute, or we have this love one. So you can kind of use whatever you want, but these are the ones that are made for the Joy. So let's do the congrats card. And you'll see that it tells you all of the things that you need. You need the insert cards and the black/silver matte holographic. You'll need the Cricut Joy card mat and the scraper. Now, if you guys don't know, you can make these cards on your own Makers and Explore machines. It's really easy to do. I will link that video down below for you guys, but we're going to go ahead and click on Make It. And you'll see that we already have a project on our canvas. I'm just going to click Replace because I don't need to keep it. It's a waste of my time. So it's going to load our project, and sometimes it's a little bit slow. It just depends. And I'm going to show you guys how to load the card mat and how to load the machine. So let's go over to the machine so I can show you all of that. This is our Cricut Joy mat, and then this is the set of cards. I like these because they come with the inserts already cut, the cards already cut, and you get the envelopes. So it is kind of a cool product. Even though you can totally cut your own cards, it's fine. So I'm going to get this mat opened so I can show you guys how to use this. Okay, so this is our card mat. It's for custom cards in minutes. Now this does have a protective coat covering on it, and then it has this little piece of cardboard covering it. Let me see if I can get that off. They really like to make this really hard to do. So the one thing I will say is for your card mat, it's really important that you use the right side of your plastic to hold it down. So before we go anywhere else, I'm going to show you a quick trick to this. A super quick trick so that you make sure that you lay your plastic down correct side up on your mats is to take a vinyl, and this is StarCraft Magic. And the reason I'm using this is because you can see one side, one side is silver and one side is colored. So when you set your vinyl down on top of it, the colored side will be the side that goes out. And that way, when you set your plastic back down, you make sure that you just set the same side down. It really does not make the biggest difference, but for me, I have noticed somewhat of a difference by constantly making sure I set the right side down. So we have peeled that off. Now this side is sticky, but under here is not sticky at all. So it's really easy to do. So let me set that up here, and then we'll get our cards opened, which of course they have plastic and sticky all over everything. I did get these off of Amazon because our local craft store, A, was too expensive, and B, didn't have the color I wanted. I really wanted one that had the holographic in it, because I just think holographic's super fun. So it comes out of this little, like in a little envelope that holds it, which I think is nice. So what you're going to do is you'll need one piece of insert. You will need one card piece, which is this, and one envelope. So we'll pull out our envelope. So to load your card, you are going to open it up, just like so, and you're going to slide it under the mat. And you want to line it up so that the top of your card is at the top of the mat, and that the edge of your flap is on the edge of the mat. So you can see mine is all the way to the top and all the way there. And then you just press down your flap. And you want to make sure that is good and stuck. You can set your insert and your envelope over to the side. We'll go back over to the computer so I can show you how to load it. Once you have put your mat together, you can go ahead and click on Continue right there at the bottom. And remember, the Joy doesn't have any buttons on itself, so all the buttons are contained within your design space. Now it's going to ask us what kind of material we are using, and we're using the cardstock from the card set, which I don't see. I see the insert cardstock, and I see medium cardstock. I see some other options. So let's browse the materials and kind of see what our options are. It looks like our options are medium cardstock or insert cardstock, which it's not the insert card. So I'm guessing that we use the medium cardstock, because this one only gives you the materials that it can cut. And you can see it's got a lot of different vinyl and things, party foil, window cling, stuff like that. So we'll just go with medium cardstock because it's not the insert part of the card. Now you'll see that it tells us we need our fine point blade and our to load the mat into the machine. I'm going to go over to the machine because I'm going to show you why this doesn't have a load button. So without a load button, you're kind of probably wondering, well, how do I get it to take my design or my material? You just press it in, and it has sensors that will read when you have your mat in. I will say that the reason it didn't load before was because I had my mat too close to it, but it does have sensors built in. You'll have to go back over to your computer to hit the go button. Once you have loaded your item onto your Joy, you will hit your go button right here on your computer. This is one of the things that I wish was a little bit different. I do wish the Joy had some buttons, because for me, I don't have a lot of space around my computer to keep my machine right next to it. So I have to get up and get down and keep moving things around just so I can make my designs. Once you've hit that go on your computer, you'll see the machine start to cut. It is super easy to do. These pre-made cards are really simple, so if you wanted something quick and easy, this is a great way to do that. We are, like I said, doing this little adorable card for a engagement party. I thought this would be really fun and easy to do. And the best part is it's really personalized, so everything is nice and homemade rather than just a store-bought card. But you'll see that it's going to cut this out, and I will let you guys watch that. Now that it's done cutting, you'll see the light on the top flashing. You can't just pull your design out. You have to go back to the computer to hit the unload button. Now we can hit the unload button and unload our design from the machine. Our machine has unloaded, so now you can take your design off, and all you need to do is pull it off just like you would any other design on any of the other Cricut mats. You do want to be careful, and this one is obviously, it's a brand new card mat, so we're going to go really slow with it, and we're just going to gently, and all I'm doing is almost tugging downward on it with just a little bit of up motion to it, just so that it can release. And then what we're going to do is just pull our card out. Now you'll see you have all these teeny tiny little pieces left behind. So I'm going to show you guys a quick little trick. Let me slide the little Joy out of the way. I'm using just a regular squeegee, but you can get the little red scraper too from 651. And all I'm going to do is take that and just run it over the card mat. And you'll see, look at how easy that was. It took everything off, absolutely no problem. And you'll want to make sure that you replace your plastic back onto your mat. And for this one, like I said, I did make sure it goes the same way. So there you go. Mat is done. We can throw all of that out. And then I'm going to show you really quick. This is the easiest part. Now I do have a couple pieces that stayed stuck to my cardstock. That's fine. Just pull them out. And all we have to do now is take the insert card. You'll see one side is white and one side is the holographic. And you take with these little indents, so I don't know what to call them. I guess they're little cutouts. You take the corners of your insert and put it in there. But I did notice we got a couple other little pieces that are still stuck. So let me pull those out. Always check that before you get your card fully assembled. Looks good. I think we got everything out. So all we do is we take the corners of our insert and you're just going to put them into these little cutouts. And this can take a little bit of finagling and a little bit of bending on your part with the insert, but you'll see that I'm just going to kind of fold it up a little bit. You don't want to crease it, you just sort of bend it and you just tuck them in. Oops. The last one is always a little harder, and I'm trying to do this at like a weird angle so you guys can see it. But you'll see, there is our card. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And you saw how easy that was. That only took a couple of minutes to do. It was really, really simple, and it looks so professional. Now what you can do is either handwrite your own little note on the inside, or you can absolutely have the machine do it for you. I'm just gonna handwrite a little note because this is gonna be a gift for somebody. We're gonna make our own card insert because we're going to use the Michaels brand that doesn't come with the card inserts, but this is a very, very easy thing to do. All you'll need to do is go into your shapes, open up a square, and we're going to use this lower left-hand corner right here with the little lock, and we're going to unlock it. Now, our design needs to be 4 inches wide and 5.25 inches high. It's very important that you make sure that this is going to fit on your Joy itself. And remember, the Joy can only cut 4.5 inches wide, so I like to make it so that the width is the smaller length. So now all we have to do is make sure we have the correct machine selected. So I'm going to select my Cricut Joy. We're going to click on Make It, and it's going to show you that it wants you to use a mat. So you definitely want to use a mat. We're going to go select Mat, click on Done, and it is going to tell it that it needs us to edit selections for each material here. Just tell it got it. It's going to tell you that a couple different times, but it's totally fine. I don't know if this will bring up the materials because I don't have my Joy selected right now, but I cut this just on a medium cardstock and it worked perfectly. So let's go over to the machine so that I can show you guys how to cut this. So I've got a light grip mat. I got the 12-inch one, not the little short one, just because I figured I'd use it more. And then this is our copper paper. So remember, I said we're going to have to cut this down. Now, I'm not really going to cut it down a ton. I'm just going to cut the edge off of it so that it fits on our mat. Now, these are about 6 inches wide. So we're just going to kind of make a cut. You can measure it if you want to. You could measure it if you want to, but you don't need to, as long as you can kind of cut fairly straight. No need to measure. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of do a little quick cut, and it should be just perfect on here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open our mat, because I just got this, so we're going to open it. I got mine at Michaels for buy one, get one 50% off when I got the Cricut Joy, but you can probably find these on Amazon cheaper. I will look for you and link them below if I have found them on there. So we're just going to go ahead and pull that off. You got to just pull the plastic off. These work just like your regular mats on your Cricut. So then you lay your material down on your mat. And when you're ready to load your machine, which I'm going to slide this over, I'm going to show you that part here in 1 second, but you have to go back to your computer to hit go. It's going to cut out our simple square. Super easy to do, nothing crazy. And this is the one thing that I like, is you can do these simple projects pretty quickly with the Joy, and it is really small, so it's super easy to work with. Now you'll notice that, again, there are no buttons, so you have to unload your machine on your computer. Now that it's unloaded, we can remove it from the mat, so I'm going to take off the excess first. And this is a pretty thick, like you can see, it's kind of paper, like cardboard on the back of it. It's a pretty decently thick paper, but just like when you use your big mats, I roll my mat off rather than the other way around. And then you want to make sure that you replace your plastic on your mats. You always want to make sure that you do this. It keeps your mats nice and neat and clean for future use. So we'll just put our plastic back on. So here is our insert all cut out, super easy to do. So now what we'll need to do is choose a card that we can use with our really pretty insert. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of our Michaels cards, which these ones come in a pack. You get 80 sets, so you get 80 cards, 80 envelopes, and then you have to just cut your own insert, but again, super easy to do. So we're going to make a really pretty purple card. And this is, again, a pack. Now they're normally $19.99 for this pack, but they go on sale all the time. anywhere from 50 to 70% off, and sometimes you can combine a coupon with them, so it's really great. And they are just like your Cricut ones, but they're blank inside too, and they're really pretty. They're kind of watercolor. They come in a bunch of different styles. So let's pick out a card, and I'll show you guys how easy this is. Now that you've cut out your insert, which was super easy to do, you can just go and select your card just like you would if you were using the Cricut brand cards. So I'm going to go into projects, and let's see, there was a really cute Easter one that I saw that said something like Happy Easter. I thought it was really funny and adorable, and it looked like it would be really cute cut in the colors that I have selected. So let's take a look and find it. Sometimes you can search them. I just usually just scroll for a while because sometimes stuff will kind of catch my eye. Here it is. So what we're going to do is just select that. It's totally easy. Click on Make It, and it's going to ask me to replace because all I did was just kind of go over the insert. So I'm just going to click replace. We don't need it. Now this is going to tell you like right over here that it's going to need to be on the card mat. You can change this if you were just going to cut this as like maybe a little design or whatever. You can totally do that. You can tell it with mat, without mat, but we're just going to cut it on card mat. I don't know why it says this every time I click something and it doesn't actually change what I did, but it asks you some crazy thing. Just go ahead and go with it. Click continue, and it's going to ask you your material. For this one, it is a medium cardstock, but you can search through your materials. You can click browse all materials, and you may have something different that you want to use if you're doing like a glitter cardstock. It's got all the different vinyl, leather, paper, so I've shown you that. But we're just going to do this on a medium cardstock. We'll go over and I'm going to show you guys how to load the off-brand card. It's exactly the same, super easy. The beauty of these Michaels cards is they're the same size as the cards you use that Cricut makes. So you're going to go ahead and peel off your plastic off your card mat. And remember, this is really cool because it has like a pocket. So what you're going to do is take your card, open it up, and slide the back of your card where like you would write onto like inside of your card mat, and then the front of your card goes onto the sticky part, and you'll see that it kind of lines up with the grid. So we've already told it that we are ready to load, so just make sure that this is stuck down nicely, and it's going to use its sensors to pull our mat in and then pull our mat back out. We're going to hit the go button on the computer. I'm not going to have to take you back over to that. That's the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of. So you're going to click go on your computer, and you'll see that our Joy is going to cut out our card. So I'll let you guys watch it cut. Just like when we did the insert, we have to hit the unload over on the computer, so I've done that. Let me pull this out. I'm going to slide our Joy out of the way. Again, I do love how light it is. You can kind of just slide it around. Slide these out of the way as well. So here is our card. Now, it is delicate because there are lots of cuts on this card, and I don't know how well you can see them, but they really came out nicely. So what I'm going to do is take my card mat and flip it over. And again, just like you do with your regular mat, you're going to flip it over and peel your card off from your mat versus your mat from your card. Now again, you don't want to bend it too far, and you do want to be gentle, but you can see I'm just lightly bending it, and I'm just lightly peeling off my card because I don't want to rip any of the delicate pieces. So we're going to go ahead and pull that out. So that's done. The one thing I will say is a few little spots stayed in, but that's absolutely fine. We can pull that little piece out ourselves. But I'm going to show you a quick thing that I absolutely love that I just got, and I wish I would have had it before. It is this little red scraper, and it's tiny, but it's super nice. It has a really sharp edge to it. Not so that you would cut yourself, but it's very nice for things like this, where you have all these little pieces, and you want to scrape them off your mat super quick. Watch this. Look how easy this is. You just scrape them off, and it's a little staticky in my house, so my paper does tend to stick. But all you have to do is just run your little red scraper across, and you can just pull off all of this paper really, really easy, instead of having to try to pick at it one little piece at a time, which can be an absolute pain in the booty. So we are just going to get all these little pieces off, and look at that. Our mat is all clean, super fast, super easy, and then we're just going to put our cover right back on because you don't want to leave that off. You don't want your mat to get dirty. And now all we need to do is put our insert in, which is super easy to do. So here is our card. All you have to do is take your insert, and I like to take my card and open it all the way up and I will put my insert into the top, and you just put one corner in. Then you take the other corner and you just sort of bend it just a little bit and slide that other corner in. And sometimes you need to wiggle it a little bit, especially if it's not quite centered, like mine isn't super even right now. So you may need to kind of adjust a little bit. And I will say the card mat does tend to leave a little bit of sticky on your cardstock, which kind of is nice when you're doing the insert, but not so nice when you're trying to move it. And then all you do, there you go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. It's so easy to do. You guys, you don't need to spend a fortune on Cricut products. You just don't. They have really cute card stuff, but it's pricey. You're looking at $6.99 for their set of cards, where I can get a huge set from Michaels for just a few dollars. So as you can see, you can totally use non-Cricut brand cards to make their beautiful cards that they offer in Design Space. And it's really, really easy. You just need to cut your own insert, and you can cut that on any kind of cardstock that you would like. I got the Cricut set of 12 cards, 12 inserts, and 12 envelopes for $6.99 on Amazon. And I got the Craft Smart 80 sets with 80 cards and 80 envelopes for $6.82 at Michaels. So as you can see, really a great deal when you're getting 80 sets of cards, and most people already have a ton of cardstock on hand, so it's really inexpensive to do your own cards versus only getting 12 sets and you get 80 from Michaels. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. I hope you guys had so much fun checking out how to use your Cricut Joy to make cards using both the Cricut branded products and an off-brand product. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting.